exciting discussion. And trust me, it's going to be truly transformative conversation with my beautiful guests. And I just want to give a heads up to what we are trying to convey here. So we all know that words are more than just symbols or sounds. They carry immense weight, influence, and impact. The words we choose not only reflect our thoughts and feelings, but also it has the power to shape our realities and the world around us. So I have with me Neeta, who is again my friend, certified life coach with 14 plus years of experience and an accomplished author for the book Lion Boy. Her passion lies in helping individuals uncover their purpose, elevate, and that's the name of the program, Embrace Elevate. And so, welcome to the show, Neeta.
Thank
Next
you, Jyoti.
is
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Neeta. And next is our own mind hacker, Colonel Aditya Singhal. So, just a little bit about Colonel. He got 33 years of experience in operational training and development, equipment management, administration, and HR management in the armed forces. So, definitely, Colonel will be more happy to inform you all what actually where he comes from. So, welcome to the show, Colonel. And
Thank you,
before
Jyoti. Thank you very much. Hi, Neeta.
Yes. So, Colonel,
Hello,
before we
Colonel.
proceed with the conversation, just I would request you to give a little introduction about yourself.
So, Jyoti, you have already given a good introduction of me. However, in addition to what you said, I would add that I am a tankman from the Armored Corps, for those who are aware of it. And yes, second innings after putting in 33 years of service, when I hung up my uniform, I joined this noble and very, very important profession of mind hacking and mindset shift. And my purpose is to empower people to become the best version of themselves and want to take you from where you are to where you want to be, and thereafter push you to the next level where you can be. And in addition, I also work with youngsters who want to convert their various avenues of what to do after they finish their schooling, because that is a different age. So that is also what I do, and that's it. And of course, I'm part of a huge community with you and Neeta, and we have been able to, put in our bid to transform lives of in our own.
Thank you so much, Colonel. That was a beautiful introduction. So, Neeta,
Thank
I
you.
would like just a little bit about yourself.
So, hi everyone. My name is Neetta Singh, and Jyoti has already mentioned that I'm an author and I'm a life coach. I have my program that's called Embrace and Elevate. Embrace because we all have our skeletons in the closet, and we need to embrace those skeletons whether we choose to like them or not. And by embracing those skeletons, how we can excel and elevate ourselves to the next level. That's what my program is all about. I love to help people clear their blockages so that they can move ahead with a free mindset, and they can actually independently do whatever it is that they really desire to do. So that's about me. Thank you, Jyoti.
Thank you so much, Neeta. That was a beautiful introduction. So, guys, just a little bit about myself. Already, you must have checked out my on my account. So, by profession, I'm an advocate. After that, I worked with international MNCs for 15 years of my life. I am a life coach from last 3 to 4 years, and I am just trying to help people, right? So we all are life coaches here, and the very important topic that we want to discuss today is how the conversation, how the words spoken by us regarding someone or maybe with our own self, that is directly indirectly the conversation with the universe. So, Colonel, I just want to ask you one thing. What do you think, how have the words spoken by you or by others influenced our self-esteem and help us understand the sense of self-worth?
So, Jyoti, this is a very, very important thing which you are talking about, the power of the words. and we at times do not realize this, but the words are the most what you call most destructive weapons we have in our armory. Because being in the army, people tell me that you have tanks and guns and rockets and missiles. Those are the weapons which can harm a person. They can cause destruction. They can cause collateral damage. But words are the sharpest weapon, which can actually make or break the life of the person who you are speaking to and the kind of words that you are using. So if we go back to, if we all of us look back our childhood days, the way we were spoken to by our parents or friends, or even in school, they had a very very long lasting impact. Actually, at times the words that we are using with each other or anybody else can have a way, I would say, can actually boost the morale of a person or put that person down into the dumps to think that I am worthless. So that is the kind of power that our words have with each other, and we at times don't even realize this. We don't even realize this, but this is what it is. And now
Beautifully
that
explained.
you, Neeta, and I are in a profession wherein we are more aware. So we have this awareness, but when we were not coaches, or when did not we were doing a normal thing, that we actually did not pay much attention to the kinds of words that we were using in conversation with either our colleagues or parents or even our children for that matter. So yes, you're right. The words have a very very deep impact on the human psyche or the person.
Thank you so much, Colonel Bind. So, again, a very important perspective how it can positively or negatively impact ourselves. So, Neeta, just a small thing I want to learn. Like, you already have your program, which is Embrace Elevate. So, what do you think? How can a shift in language and communication positively impact our professional aspirations?
Sorry, Jyoti, could you just repeat your question once again, please?
Yeah. How can what I am trying to ask you is how can a shift in language and communication positively impacts your professional aspirations and career growth, what you want to do in life? How can it impact us?
I think it has a huge impact, but it all needs to begin with awareness. Let's say if you are working with a set of team members, and if you're an effective leader and an effective communicator, you realize that some team members are not giving enough input, or not everybody is giving the 100%. Some of them are giving 30%, some are giving 70%. Now how do you interact with this person, who is giving just 30%? You can't really just put that person down with your words. So that's where effective communication comes into the picture. Like Colonel said, the words can make and break you. The job of a good leader and a good communicator is to speak it in such a way that it elevates the other person. It You're trying to make your point, okay, and at the same time you're also trying to tell that person that you need to give more attention to this. So I think words play a very important role, and communication, I think, these days has become very very important. How you speak and how your communication is taken by the person sitting in front of you.
That's great, Neeta. So I think your program is about on the similar lines. How to what are the good qualities they have and how you take them to a different level. So would you like to talk a little bit about the program for the audience to know more about you?
Yes, absolutely. See, I would actually like to start by giving an example. As we were growing up, and especially when we are girls, we are grown up with this one mindset key that you have to complete your education and then you have to get married. We are given no importance of financial education. We are given no importance of, what freedom means to us. And that's why we grow up and move into the next family with this low self-esteem and low self-worth, that my job is only to take care of the family. My job is just to take care and cook food for the family. That woman might be having exemplary amount of talent in her. Maybe she's a really talented fashion designer. Maybe she is a very good speaker. Maybe she is a very good cook. She could actually be her own master chef. But nobody is there to identify these talents for her. And that's why I feel that as you're growing up, the mindset need not be just about, that this is how you need to be. You need to identify what are your strengths. And I feel as parents, we play a very important role how we talk to our children, because whatever we speak with our children, they imbibe. And because they are young, it stays in their minds for a very long time. And that's why choosing the right way to communicate with your children is extremely, extremely essential. So that's what my program deals about. It goes out to help these kind of people who are struggling with their self image, who are in a conflict, or someone who just wants to get rid of those inner voices and blockages. So that's what my program helps with, where they want to move out from this zone and elevate themselves to the next level.
Thank you so much, Neeta. And again, yeah, hi, I'm really glad that you're here. Again, Anjan is one of my good friends, and he has mentioned communication and choosing the right most importance. Agree. Thank you so much. So, Colonel, I just want to one, since you come from a army background, and the most disciplined people in India are people who belong to that particular background. So, do you have? Can you share a personal experience where a change in your language or communication style had a profound impact on your relationship or on your personal growth?
So yes, Jyoti, in the army, like army is a multicultural, multi-linguistic organization where people come from all across the country, from different backgrounds in terms of their, depending upon the state, village, or even from the religion or thing. And what we realized in the army was like, as a officer, if I give a instruction or order to my men, they have to follow it irrespective of whether it is right or wrong. They can't even think and question me. However, one more thing, a mixed class composition wherein we have Marathas, Rajputs, Gurs, and Ahir. So all four castes were coming from different background, different thought process. So when in your normal conversation, when you're communicating with them, so you could speak whatever you want them, and they will not take what you call, they will not feel bad about the language that you are using with them. Like if I say, if we are talking Hindi, we'll say या तो तुम बोलते हैं या आप बोलते हैं, लेकिन आर्मी में whether you are an officer, whether you are a jawan, it is not a derogatory term. So is a normal thing to address a person or speaking to, and so nobody takes offense to it. However, if outside, if you speak in the if you in a corporate organization, or in a speak to somebody, say to ye kya kar raha hai, so they will take offense to it. How can you talk to me like that? And these days you cannot talk like that to your children also. You can, and Anjan says that he is an infantry officer. And one more thing I'll share here is that, like with this Sikh troops or Gurkhas are one, you give them an order, they will do it, they will not question you. एक बार उनको बोल दिया कि दाई is a word which you use with Gurkha, it is like a brother. हो जाएगा साहब. He question, he will go do without, he will complete and then only come to you. Now, if you come to Sikh troops are different, where they wherein we if you gully, which we call in normal MCBC, they will not, because that is a normal communication. Like Neeta is smiling in Punjabi, the languages which we use, it nobody takes offense to it. And so with them you trade. But I cannot use the same language when I'm speaking to my Maratha troop. They offense to it. Even a word like bloody, if you say, he'll say, "Aapne mere ko bloody kaise bol diya?" So this is how the effect of words used to happen earlier. But more educated now, people are uh, more aware and to become more sensitive. Like I remember even my senior officer, who was my commanding officer, he speaks Aditya, tu kya kar raha hai? Bloody jay, what are you doing? So I will not. But if I use the same language with youngster, they will say, how can you speak to me like that? So it is also depends upon the kind of environment you are in,
Culture we
and
come from.
definitely I cannot use the same language. I cannot use the same language when I am interacting with civilians. When we were in an organization where we had army and civilians mix up, we could not never use the same language with them. And coaches or my clients or even our normal conversation, I have to be very, very careful about the language that I'm using, the words that I'm using, and also one more thing which I realize is what I mentioned earlier. Your words are like weapons, and once you have spoken a word, it cannot be taken back. So,
Correct.
so especially in your relationship, in your personal relationship with your family, spouse, with your children, you have to be very, very careful as to what kind of language you're using, what kind of words you're using, because you may not be meaning it to be disrespecting, but it might be taken in that manner. So that is again something which is one has to be very, very careful about. And especially with young children, I realize is that because I was during my tenure, I was commanding a NCC battalion wherein we were interacting with boys and girls from schools and colleges. So when you're speaking to them, you have to be like a role model. So what every word that you move they are watching and they are following you. So one had to be a perfect example, set an example. Like army lead by example. So you will not ask your subordinate to do something which you yourself will not do. Or if you have to do something like if you have to do, you will do it yourself first, and then मैं कर सकता हूँ, तुम भी कर सकते हो. Especially when it comes to
Hmm.
go doing something dangerous or which might be a difficult task to them. So
Correct. So,
so
Colonel,
that way, Jyoti, what I is that different kinds, different people, you have to these days you have to be extra careful. Earlier, it was current environment and the current thing. You have to be very, very careful about the language and the words that you're speaking with anybody for that matter.
correct. So that I got reminded of a beautiful incident. After practicing for 5 years in Calcutta, I got when I relocated to Mumbai. That was the first cracked an interview and joined an organization which was a night shift US organization. And I heard people like, "Kya kar rahi hai tu? Tu?" Or I come from proper UP, Uttar Pradesh. We called it Uttam Pradesh nowadays. And that conversation happened, and I got psychic. How can you talk to? And later on, I realized that it is very normal here in Mumbai. Like I am coming from a different background, so that's how different cultures and everything changes. When I came to Mumbai, at that point in time, hum. That means you're giving importance to yourself, and that's the importance we bhaiyas give to ourselves. Okay? Initially, when people used to call me bhaiya, bhaiyani, and I used to get offensive about it. Ki, matlab, you cannot talk to me like that. And then I realized that whoever is coming from UP and Bihar, so they have a habit of calling them bhaiyas and bhaiyanis. Then I accepted the culture. I can't help it, right? And later on, by the time you stay here, last 15 years in Mumbai, that's how you adopt the language and culture and everything. So very important perspective shared that it comes from the background you're coming from. And it took a lot of time for me to change that. So I just want to ask you, Neeta, what what do you think? Like, can you examples of few power words or affirmations that we should be telling to ourselves in the morning, at the night, or these power words or affirmations impact someone?
Sure, Jyoti. So today I'm in a mood of telling a lot of stories, So I'm going to start with a story as I give this example. Suppose you're my best friend, okay? And you're not in a great mood. You've had a bad day, okay?
But I
But
don't need to
because you're my
suppose. I don't
close,
need to suppose I am your best friend.
sorry? No, this is just a
I
story that
don't
I'm
need to
sharing it for the
suppose.
viewers.
Yes.
Okay. So we are best friends and you have not had a very great day, okay? You're feeling completely down and out. So you give me a call and you tell me, Neeta, I'm not feeling very good. You're almost on the verge of crying. So I tell you, Jyoti, okay, fine. You know what? Where are you? Give me 10 minutes. I'll come and meet you. So I come and I meet you and I cheer you up. I tell you, okay, let's go and have our favorite fish sari that we love. Okay. We then go out and watch movie. And then after, let's say 3 to 4 hours, you come back to your normal state of mind. And then you tell me, wow, now I'm feeling good. Now I'm feeling better. And then you probably share your story, whatever has happened to you. Now, as a person, we go out of our way to make somebody else feel good, but we never do that for ourselves. We are, first of all, we are so dependent on the outside circumstances and people कि कोई आके हमारे दिल का हाल जाने, कोई आके हमको संभाले. क्यों संभालेगा? People don't have time in their busy lives these days. Nobody has time for you, nobody is going to come for you, and nobody is going to care for you. Okay, so the first priority when you feel this way is that what are the things that you are going to do for yourself? How are you going to make yourself feel better? Whatever I did for you is something that I should be doing for my own self. I should go out and have good food. I should go out and watch some good movie. Okay. And like you said about affirmations, affirmations is something very beautiful and it's built over a period of time. Like they say, it takes 21 days to build a habit. So affirmations will help if you are going to do this on a very regular basis. And when you're trying to highlight, that I'm a good person, all good things come effortlessly to me. Okay, when you speak this, what happens is your subconscious mind starts telling you, this is some new message that I'm getting. What is this message? The next day when you repeat, your subconscious mind is again aware, okay, this is something new that's coming to me. Now as you consistently do this every day, your subconscious mind gets used to it because now it is a part of it, which means that now it has become a part of your personality.
Mhm.
Subconscious mind requires repetition all the time. So if you are doing affirmations just for, let's say, 5 days, whenever you feel like to do it, they are not going to work for you. And second, and the most important thing is having a connection with your affirmations. you know have that connection, get into that feeling, even if those things are not there right now. Get into that feeling and then you sleep with that feeling, so that those are the last thoughts in your head when you're just about to go off to sleep. There is no point in doing mindless scrolling on the phone, because when you go to sleep, all those clutter remains in your head. So it's better to get rid of the clutter, calm your mind, speak some 3 to 4 good sentences about yourself, and then fall asleep. I hope everyone resonates
Thank you
with what
so
I've
much, Nita.
shared.
Yes, beautifully explained. So, another message from Anjan sir, and he's like, I'm a professional corporate trainer and soft skill trainer. I need to update as to what is vocation evolution. Could you kindly share as how it is different? Yes. So, definitely, I just try it in a very layman language. So, vocation is either you are working professional or you. So your work or occupation is vocation. Evolutionist is someone who can uplift and help you grow from this level to that level. So that is my profession. You can sim life coach, but life coach has it doesn't describe what sort of life coaching you do. Like Colonel said, I'm a mind hacker. So people can vary what exactly he is doing, right? He works on your mind, and he will help you change your thought process, your mindset, and automatically it will help you evolve from that particular space. So exactly, the evolution is something where you evolve, and I am there to help you, bring you to that particular level where you always have deserved. So thank you so much, Anjan, for asking that question. And Colonel, after that, I just want to ask you one thing. In a world where words can be shared through various platforms and social media, right? So, what do you think? Because you are a dad of a grown-up children as well. So, I just want to understand, how can we promote responsible and empathetic communication to mitigate the potential of words? Because I have seen a lot of things, on social media. If you talk Instagram, YouTube, and everywhere, junk kachras are there, and they went viral. And people who talk sense and all these Gyan and Darshan and everyone, they are still there. They are still running with their own flag in their hand, and all these nasty things gets viral, right? So how can one choose what we need to consume and what we you know? So over to you, Colonel.
So, Jyoti, when it comes to posts which are going around in the social media, whether it is your YouTube, WhatsApp, the biggest culprit today is the WhatsApp University. And what I have seen is that people are parts of different groups. Same post is rotating, circulating in different groups. Same post. And there's one more thing is I realize is that many people, they will just read the post, and they got it, they'll forward it to 10 more people mindlessly. And you must be getting every day, you must be getting,
Correct.
there are certain people who will every day by without fail give you a good morning message. Every day, if you see, you have just got good morning messages from them. Then there's another category who will not post anything original. They will just forward messages, forward videos, forward posts without even having a look at it. And the category is those who do some original content. Normal human tendency, and which we have seen, which we have, I would say, we have seen happening in the news channels and the other platforms which are available to us. That there's a information overload, and depending upon
Mm.
what are you looking for, you have to filter the thing. And if we are conscious of not forwarding messages blindly to each and everybody, one that.
Yes.
Secondly, would also be careful as to what is my purpose of contributing. If I want to contribute, or you want to contribute to in a group, or in
Mm.
a, or for example, this medium that we are using. So if I find something which is very useful, which will help my potential clients or my audience, so I will forward that. And in addition, I'll also add my comment as to what did I learn from them, instead of just forwarding and forgetting about it. So, Army language, we used to use a term called fire and forget. So we have these missiles which you just aim at the target, fire, and automatically they will hit that. Have to worry about it. So similarly, there are these fire and forget of category of people also in social media, especially in the WhatsApp group. And one more thing I realize is that uh, if you go out, whether it is a small kid who would be about 6 or 10 years, or a elderly gentleman or lady who's maybe 80 or 90, because they have that smartphone in their hand, they have nothing else to do. So they have to, they what they are doing, they are basically doing it to pass their time, because they do not have their children around them to speak to, they do not have anybody else. So they are, so for them this is a medium of communicating or connecting with the world. However, they're also they full about it. And another thing is like, especially for example, there's certain platform like LinkedIn or we post professional. It is a professional networking. When you go
Correct.
to Twitter or you Instagram, you feel you see people are just posting random things. You're dancing in the somewhere or you're doing those kinds of things are again want to as you mentioned, had mentioned also said that we got a medium to express ourselves which was not available. So they you don't have TV, you don't have available. So but now you have freedom of speech. You're a democracy, and you can speak about talk about anything, and people experts. So it is up to an individual as to decide and filter what to be posted and not to be posted, and especially in terms of happening is ki your every word that you post is seen and it is taken into a different connotation, and you also have that more what you call moral brigade floating around in this virtual who are actually dissecting people's posts, and then they are also again uh, putting another twist to what. So one has to be that way
Correct.
little not careful but more conscious, and I would say in NCC we used to teach emphasize cadets to become responsible citizens. So this is also like if every person is blindly doing and following things which are happening around ourselves.
Thank you so much, Colonel. So now I think Aruna, thank you so much, Aruna. She just mentioned great conversation. And I think Anjan sir has a question from Colonel. He advises how can one maintain privacy of contents? Colonel, you need to answer the question.
So in order to maintain privacy of your content, is you have don't have to do much about it. You have to if you go to any platform which you're using, you have that settings. If you go into the setting, it gives you all the options whether who show can see your content that you're posting, who you want people to follow, or so depending upon what kind of message you are planning to or putting forth to your prospective or target audience or the people who are you are interacting with, you can actually regulate the kind of content that you're posting, and also you can also regulate the kind of content that you want to receive from people. Like if you don't want to receive any random messages from any random people, you can set your privacy settings to only my friends or followers. So only those people will be able to reply to your post, or they will you'll receive from them, and rest every all other messages will go into a different folder, or in the spam folder, or you have that junk folder. So these are depending on the kind of platform that you are using, you can definitely set your privacy settings and control what you want to see, and also what others can see from your content. And you
Correct.
also have the option whether you want to allow people to comment on your content. That also you can regulate.
Mhm. So, correctly explained, and I just want to add something to this. So at times, it so happens we go. I very oftenly go on YouTube and watch Sadhguru or Gaur Gopal Das, my favorite people, right? So I have a lot of understanding what they talk, and I can connect to them. And if you see, Gaur Gopal Das has a particular way of telling stories, and Sadhguru has a very subtle way of explaining the extra from where this wisdom comes from, but it comes. Those are the people that
Hmm.
we connect. But if we talk about, who can connect with me, right? So if you see on 1,000 followers or 5,000 connections, so 1,000 people, definitely you can stop a lot of things. But when you start receiving on Facebook, basically, because primarily I thought Facebook is a very professional sort of platform, but observe, that is my personal observation again, that has become a very nasty platform right now. And LinkedIn, trust me, it's so damn professional actually. So that this is the platform, and you get good connections also. So we have to be mindful of what you, right? If you don't want to talk to someone, definitely there is an option to go and block and do a lot of things. Some of the things that we have to be mindful. But Colonel, we are life coaches, evolved at a stage wherein we have that particular understanding. But when we talk about, the younger generation, like Neeta, two sweet kids, right? And they are at that evolving age. So how do we, stop them to getting and go and watch what exactly you need to watch? So that I think, Neeta, you must be facing a lot of challenges when we talk about that aspect with your children, basically.
No, I didn't have to face too many challenges on that, and I'll tell you the reason why. Firstly, yes, I'm the author of my book, The Lion Boy, which is the story, of course, of me and my son. And as parents, if you want your children to follow something, it has to start with you, not from them. So if
Yes.
you want your children to start reading books at 8 p.m. in the night instead of watching television, it has to start with you, where you have to shut down your mobile, you have to shut down the television, and you have to pick up a book. And not just any book, what kind of book are you reading? So the first step is to start inculcating those habits of observation in the children. So as my son was growing up, and because I was like so closely connected with him, because I was already working on a lot of his emotional imbalance, and he was being bullied in the school, so there were a lot of things happening with him, so I was constantly in touch with him. So for me to make him do things which I wanted to do it my way, I had to set the standards, I had to set the tone, and he had to follow me.
Yes.
So that way, we did not have too many of arguments. And even when we had arguments, I ensured that I am not getting flustered by it. And I'm not snapping at him instantly, because at the end of it, it's his curiosity that's making him ask those questions to me. So there were days and times, I would say, that I would go completely out of patience, because handling him was a big challenge. So I used to tell myself, talk to myself, Neeta, 2 to 3 deep breaths, calm down, just ask him once again, what is the question? What does he want? So that way, it used to give me time. Those 5, 6 seconds used to help me calm down. And then I used to just go back to him and tell him, this is what you have to do. And this is why we cannot do this certain thing, or these are the results. If you do this, तो इससे ये होगा, ये अच्छा भी हो सकता है, ये खराब भी हो सकता है. So I would give him or explain him all the options, what are the possible outcomes. So I think as parents of growing up children, everything needs to start from the parents. It need not start from the children. And it does not come with a sense of entitlement as well, because you're a parent, your child is supposed to listen to you. No, your children will listen to you, provided what you are showing to them. So
Mhm.
behavior is not only observed, it's also imbibed, and whatever is happening in and around your children, just pick that up. So we have
So
to be
far,
very
so
aware and conscious about it.
yes.
So
And
Jyoti, in addition to what Neeta had said, I would add one more thing that as she rightly brought out, we have to set examples to them. They will see what they see their parents doing. They will also do the same thing because they think that that is as a child, that what my parents are like. Mother is the most, I would say, most important person in a child's life because
connected.
she's like a role model. She's connected with her child right from day one, very, very good. Whereas father may not be there. Father is more like a visiting faculty, I would say, especially in the army. Because 90% of the time when our
Mhm.
children needed me, I was not there because of exigencies and stuff. So my wife had to do all the dirty work also at times. But yes, you have to set what you call, be a role model. One. Secondly, the thing is that there are certain things which you don't want them to do. These days, if you show them the right and the both sides of the coin, like you say, if you do this, what are the consequences? And if they are aware, they you must have realized they now they look for logic for everything. Earlier in our time, once a order has been given or something has been told, we'll quietly follow it. We'll not question. But these days, because they are more aware, they have got so many resources available to them. They look for logic. Okay, you are telling me to tell me why. What is the thing? Why not? So when it comes to why not, if you're showing them the both sides or both sides, the consequences of what they are doing or not doing, that is one. Secondly, again, your till the time your son or daughter is with you, maybe till 11, 12 when they are in school, you can still influence their actions. And but once they go to college, once they go away, again uh, they take their decisions, and again you have to educate them in terms of okay, these are which you will get and what are the pros and cons. Decision has to be taken by you at that spot. Which life do you want to live, where your focus is to be.
Correct. Mhm.
And that you will find that if you have that kind of a relationship with your children, they will always do 99% of the time they will do right kind of thing, and they'll take good decision. One odd thing may be there, so if that happens, you have to be they'll come to you. You have to support them. Okay, fine, happen. We also have made mistakes. We also have, but then look for support rather than validation from you at that stage. In their back of the mind, they know that my parents are there with me, they are supporting me, and if I make a mistake, they will come out and they'll be there when I need them. So that kind of communication, as Neeta mentioned, is very important for us with our growing up children, and that relationship is, and so mother plays a very important role in this. I would say.
One
Mhm.
important point came to my
Nicely
mind, Colonel, when you were
explained.
discussing this. So, having an open communication with your children, and secondly, building that trust, as in, like, your child should feel
Yes.
safe and
Hmm.
approachable, that I can go and talk this to my parents and I will not get this extreme reaction. Because sometimes I think
Yeah.
99% of the time, children are scared of the reaction more than the task that they have
Hmm.
done. It is the reaction that's going to come that they're scared of and that they're
Absolutely.
fearful of. So parents need to be very aware that I need to have an open communication. I need to control my reactions so that my child can build that trust. So that कल को जब वो बड़ा होके मे बी अब्रॉड भी अगर जा रहा है एजुकेशन के लिए, आपको मतलब आंख बंद करके आप भरोसा करोगे कि आई हैव taught the right values to my children, and I know if he or she is finding that something is not working out, he is strong enough mentally and emotionally to handle these challenges. आज हमको बच्चे सिर्फ फिजिकली बड़े नहीं करने हैं, आज हमको उनको सिर्फ फिजिकली स्ट्रांग नहीं करना है. आज के सोसाइटी में इट्स extremely imperative for us to build mentally and emotionally strong children. That's
Correct.
the major requirement. Yes.
Yes, so I think there is a comment for you, Neeta. Decent tip, lady, and that means
Thank
you
you.
are doing well. So, Jyoti, as a doctor, I'm curious to know how can your counseling be of help? Where could one you? So, first of all, everyone who is watching and who will be watching it later, if you want to get in touch with any one of us, we are available on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or maybe you can connect, you can ID, or you can connect with us on YouTube as well. So we are active on all the social platforms. And doctor, just a small thing that I would want to highlight. So the first video, I will send the first video that I made on YouTube, on Instagram. So that video was regarding difference between coaching, counseling, and therapy. So as a doctor, doctors are there to provide, coaching, to counseling or therapy, and that is the mind right now in India. It's taboo, that if you are going to a coach, that means you are mentally not well. That is just an illusion, guys. So basically, you are not going to a doctor. What you are doing is, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to shift your states, the way you think, break the patterns that has been happening with you. And because you are following a particular pattern, things are showing up in the same way. right? If you break the pattern, or if you try a different habit, definitely it will help you go to a level. So we all three work, we all three are ICF accredited coaches under Afin Khan sir. And Afin Khan, we work in collaboration. Apart from that, Neeta has also started her own program. So that is really impressive, Neeta. And definitely, so we have the program wherein, 10 weeks of hand holding, wherein we will be taking you guys to each and every step. We will show what is the possibility, where go, and where what are the heights you can reach, which were impossible for you till date. Right. So there is a just a tweak in the mindset or tweak that we, and definitely we don't provide any therapy. सुई नहीं लगाते हम लोग, तो टेंशन लेने का बात नहीं है. ठीक है. So, Kadal, I would like you to add something related, what you want to convey to people, so that this notion of therapy, counseling, and coaching, how does it differ from each other?
In addition to what you have already said, Jyoti, I would add that doctors are diagnosing the person's whatever they are suffering, and they are giving them treatment. And similarly, counselor is again he goes into the past, he asks you a question, and they suggest as to what you can do. You can advise. They give you advice. Counselors give you advice. Whereas as coaches, we don't go into the past, we talk about the present, what is happening in your life right now, where do you stand today, and where you want to reach. Now, after we have helped you identify as to where do you want to reach, whether it is your career, whether it is your financial health, it is your health, or any profession, or even relationship with yourself as well as with your spouse or your children. Once you have identified that, then we help you to create your own roadmap. So we
Correct.
are more like facilitators, and you are taking the action, so that once you are doing it, you will take responsibility of whatever you are doing. And one
Mm-hmm.
more thing, we have realized that free advice doesn't work. There are already so many free advisors available. You never take advice. So like today, if you give advice to your children, they may take it or may not take it. Or similarly, if your children give you advice, you may take it or may not do the way they want you to do
Mm-hmm.
things, certain things. However, as a coach, it is more of empowerment, creating that belief in yourself that yes, what I am capable of doing, which is my real power, or my real, I would say, real aptitude and uh, attitude, and how I can use this, or what can I do to now achieve my personal goals or outcomes that I have set for myself, whether it is in terms of your whether it is in terms of your career, because most of the people have this thing like your mid-career, what do you call, I'm
Stuck.
forgetting the particular name. So after some time
Crisis.
you realize I have been doing this for so many years, but I don't really like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it anymore. But what do I want to do next? That I'm not clear. So that is where the role of the coach comes in. If you see, everybody is watching the World Cup today, and we have this India Bangladesh match going on in Pune Stadium. So you have Rahul Dravid, who's a coach. So what does he do? He doesn't tell him what to do. He works with you, shows him this is the thing you are doing. Not how can you improve, or how can you become a better batsman, how can you become a better bowler, or fielder. So you're practicing things, and he's interacting with you and helping you find the way. Similarly, same is the case for coaches. And it is one more thing I want to add is it is often brought up as a child, the way kind of environment you have been living in. All these have a very, very important effect on your life. So that is where you help your clients or coaches to firstly realize, then accept what is there, and then start your own personal path to overcome those challenges and thereafter
Grow further.
grow further and achieve what you are looking to achieve for. That is what I would say. And Neeta wants to add something here. Yeah, Neeta, over to you.
Yeah, because I just wanted to add, I don't know why people have this thought process that,
Jyoti?
if you need a coach, yes, then you must be having some problem. But we have some live examples in front of us. Like a lot of these coaches, sports coaches, you know, what they do, they help you build your mental strength. So when they are helping people get through the visualization techniques, what are they teaching them is that you now, I'll tell you a story of the ice skating thing. I forgot the name of the coach, but he was training his team into ice skating, and sorry, not ice skating, skiing. And mentally he was teaching his teammates that you have won the competition, and every day they were consistently doing this. So on the day of the event, what happened when they actually went on that, for the participation, they were already operating from a high state of mind. So in their minds they were already winners, and that's how that's the work of coaches. You look at our Indian actor Hrithik Roshan. He had so much of issues with stammering, but today, if you look at it, he speaks so fluently, he dances so fluidly, that everyone loves him. So it's not just that if you have an issue and only then the coaches can come and help you. Coaches come and help you also to elevate yourselves to the next level. And self image coaches, what do they do? They basically build your image in your head, they build your confidence, and then when you are out there facing the audience, you walk in, you make a grand entry and people are turning around and looking at you. So it's basically they're building your strength in the mental form. So yes, coaches are there to help you strengthen mentally and emotionally, I would say, not just because you need help.
Absolutely.
Correct. So Neeta rightly
And
explained,
one more thing I want to add, one more thing, sorry, Jyoti. One more thing I want to add is most of the successful people, whether successful businessmen or leaders, also have somebody as a coach who works behind the scene with them. We don't know,
Yes,
like, but and it is all working on your mind, mental strength. It is all about your
yes,
mental strength and resilience. How easy or difficult is it for you to face the challenges and overcome them, whether it
absolutely.
is physical challenges or whether it is mental challenges or whether it is any other kind of challenge which at times people are they don't even realize that it is a challenge for them. So that
Absolutely.
also that is where the coach comes into play.
correct. So as you all said, as we have coaches when we talk about badminton, cricket, any particular game. So that coach is there to help you win that game. And if you want to win the game of life, definitely you need a coach. Because I'll just share my perspective. People think that I'm doing very well, I'm getting some percent hike, 5%, 10%, 15% in their particular job, or maybe business, okay, काम चल रहा है, बिजनेस चल रहा है, बट वो जो चल रहा है से दौड़ने का जो स्टेज है ना, वो आपको कोच बताता है. सो बेसिकली वेर एवर यू आर, यू मे नॉट हैव felt that you are stuck, but at any level, even the top CEOs, CFOs, or the top management people, as Colonel Anita highlighted, even they need a coach at one point in time. And we yesterday me and Neeta was talking about this. We give priority to, we will go out for a dinner, we will spend 3,000 in one particular day just for 2 hours, and it is just at the cost of a coffee for you. So on a daily basis, don't you think you should invest some amount? Because what I have learned is, the best investment that someone can do is on our own self, to be a better version of what you. And many people have dropped that idea that I don't want to be there, I don't want to grow. भाई साहब, ग्रो नहीं करोगे तो क्या पेड़ हो, क्या खड़े रहना है? ठीक है, तो अगर when I look up to Arvin Khan, when I look up to Tony Robbins, I see that those people have set up an example that if they can do, it is doable. It is doable. they are not a competition. So the way you look at things, the way you perceive things, we are there to change that, that perception of yours. So that is the job of a coach. And if you want to have a sip of coffee at a nice place here out in Pune, right now we are in Pune, so we can invite you in Pune only. So if you want to have a healthy discussion regarding how can we help, definitely we are not there to rob your accounts or rob your money. उसके लिए हम लोग नहीं है. But if you want to actually understand how we can help, what we have to offer you, just give us send me a DM, me, Neeta, Colonel, anyone, if you want to look. Or there are times, Neeta and Colonel, I just want to say that there are people who say that Jyoti, you're a very extrovert person, but introverts like there are a lot of introvert person, right? But ऐसा नहीं है कि if you are an introvert you don't have the right, or if you are an extrovert you only got the right to be successful. It is all mindset. So if we talk about Neeta, I can talk to Colonel in a very rash manner कि Colonel नहीं समझ में आ रहा है क्या. I can talk to him, but I cannot talk to Neeta in that way, because there is a system. So it's not that that you are destined to be just an associate and not be the CEO of the company, or not own the company. So that is only mindset. What we need to do is just a little tweak here and there, and you will be the perfect match to rule the world. So any final words? We are about to end the show. It's 8:26.
So, Jyoti, you mentioned about the CEO. So, each one of us, or each one of you who are in the audience,
CEO
are
of
the
my life.
CEO of your life.
Correct.
And so, if in order to, we have been investing in our children, we have been investing in investment, but we also need to invest in our own personal growth, or in our own personal upliftment, so
Self-development.
that we can become better than what we are. And also everybody has different dreams which remain dreams for the rest of life, because we believe that we cannot, these dreams cannot turn into reality. But actually it is very much possible for you to convert your dreams into a reality, and for that you have to invest in yourself, and that is where we as coaches can help you to achieve that particular thing. Then making your dreams into a reality, making your aspirations real, and also be where you want to be, but you are held up for some reason which you also even not are not able to figure out as to why this is happening. So that this is where the coach's role comes into play, and that can really uh, uh, help you if you want to reach at that level.
Colonel, very important aspect touched there, So yesterday I was having a conversation with a person from Facebook, and this person was an army retired person, and he took a voluntary retirement because he got his daughter married, son is working abroad, and he's like, what I'll do working now, I have left my job because I don't need money, right? So people are with that perspective as well, wherein they don't have any interest in their life, and they just want to end their life after जब भी हो जाएगा तो हो जाएगा, कहानी खत्म. तो ऐसा, it's not about that particular life happens to you. You can, it's not only about your work, but it's about how you live each day. So as we all are authors here, have you taken that initiative to write a single page about you? So that is the first exercise that I ask people. If you know yourself, you are the first person, you should be knowing you. Can you, like Neeta was talking to me that day regarding the mirror exercise, right? So stand in the mirror, talk all the positive adjectives, and that is representing you. So Jyoti, I'm beautiful, I'm adorable, I'm smart, I'm confident, I'm everything, right? Whatever positive can come to me. So if you what you need to do is, if you want to do something, write at least one page about yourself. If you actually know you, so I can write everything about Neeta, I can write everything about Colonel, but I should not challenges when I want to put myself into picture. Who am I? ठीक है, कचरा जो पास्ट का था, I was a lawyer, I was an advocate, I have worked for 15 years in corporate, blah, blah. That is not your reality. Who are you today? What is that one income generating activity that you are doing? So that is my perspective, guys. And Neeta, if you want to add something, or Colonel.
I think today's topic was very nice and very apt, and I somehow feel we should continue it because it's really broad, self talk and self image. I would just like to recommend a book by Maxwell Maltz called Psycho-Cybernetics, and we'll just share a small story that he has shared in that. He used to do plastic surgery for a lot of people, but what he saw was some people, when they became beautiful, became very confident. And some people, when they became beautiful, became all the more underconfident. And this made him write this book, to understand what is the mindset behind this. Similarly, another example that he gave was now this I'm talking in the aspect of self-talk because that was the topic of our session today, our words. Now there are two people who want to lose weight. Okay, one person says I want to lose weight, okay, and his self talk with himself is this is what is the task that I need to do, and mentally he prepares himself into that task, and physically he goes and executes that task. Now the same thing is being done by the second person, okay, but what is that person doing mentally is, oh my god, it's too much of a task, I just don't feel like doing it. I think I'm going to come back to this shape. So what is going to happen is no matter how much efforts that person is going to put, whatever weight loss is going to happen is going to stay very temporarily because his self talk already with him was that this is not going to work for me, and eventually at the end of it it is not going to work for you. So if you all like what I have shared, then go ahead and read this book, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. It's a very, very beautiful book. And even as coaches, we should be reading it. And all I would like to just say is be aware of what you're talking and learn to flip that thought. That's it. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you, Colonel.
Colonel,
Thank you,
final
Neeta.
words
Thank
of
you very much.
wisdom from your discipline, army.
So when it comes to discipline, Jyoti, it is self-discipline which is related to what Neeta just said. If you practice self-discipline and I'll just give you a definition of self-discipline, which was told to us by one of our mentors, is that doing what you ought to do when you do not want to do it and when no one is. I'll repeat again, doing what you ought to do when you do not want to do it and when no one is watching you. If you are able to imbibe that in your life, this is what is real self-discipline. And if I give a practical example, if you're driving in your car or a two-wheeler and it is an empty road early in the morning, but there's a red light, will you stop or will you cross?
Stop.
So that is where most of the people say okay red light hai कोई गाड़ी नहीं है चलो निकल लो कुछ नहीं होगा. But there are people who stop, and I have myself faced this thing where if I stop at a red light and there's a vehicle behind me, they will start honking. कि चलो चलो चलो. But I'll wait for the light to become green. So that is where the self-discipline comes into, and it impacts every small thing that we do. If we are just able to imbibe this into your life, life will be very very different for you.
Thank you so much, Colonel, for your beautiful words, and thank you everyone who has joined us. Again, we will be live consistently on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30. And if you want to talk to Colonel, definitely send him a DM. If you want to talk to me or Neeta, send us a DM, and we are glad to connect with you to show you what is the real path for you, what is the transformation that can happen with your life, which you never ever have imagined. And the torch in the darkness we have done with our lives. And the time we talk about, you may have seen a lot of people talking on social media. That was a topic that we discussed also. Social media, but they have not incorporated these things into their own life. But we as coaches, first we go through the transformation ourselves. We see that change happening in ourselves, and that is the reason why we come on stage and talk to you guys, that we are there to help you. So please do connect if you want to go and grow to a different level. We are always there. So thanks a lot, Colonel, for coming, and thanks a lot, Neeta,
Thank
for
you,
joining.
Jyoti. Thank you, Neeta.
Thank you,
Amazing
everyone.
conversation.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.